Happy Saturday. It is actually about 1 p.m. right now. I ended up going with my husband and his mom to the Asian market and the Korean market because I'm halfway in charge of dinner tonight. Some of the stuff I'm cooking, some of the stuff my husband's cooking, but they go to the Asian market usually on Saturdays when they actually do go. And Yaya stayed home with Presley so that I could go and pick out the stuff that I was going to use to cook, which you guys will probably see me doing at least one of those things later today just because it's quick to do. But like I told you guys yesterday, I was going to come back and let you know about Paper Girls. I did read Paper Girls Volume 1 last night and then immediately picked up Volume 2. I gave both of these 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. Like, I try not to hype myself up about some of these books too much because I can give myself too much hype and then it disappoints a little bit. But the writer on this is Brian K. Vaughan, who is the same writer of Saga, which I absolutely loved. And so I loved it. I also really did like the art style, which is by Cliff Cheung, and this is another sort of sci-fi series, but this one has to do with some sort of like time travel-esque thing. I do want to preface this by saying I've only read the first 2 volumes out of I believe there's a total of 6 volumes, and so we don't have all the answers yet, but I still just loved it so much that I obviously did give these 5 stars. It was just such a fun ride, and even though I do have those questions, I'm just excited to pick up more volumes and read more in this series. So basically we follow these 4 paper girls. So they deliver the newspaper. They're all, I believe, 12 years old. Based on the cover here, we have Mac, Tiff, KJ, and then on the far side is Aaron. And they end up delivering the newspaper, obviously, but they find this sort of like capsule that looks sort of like a space capsule, but also weird, and it transports them into this like same world that they're in, but like almost like a hellish version of it. And there are people out trying to kill other people. There's something to do with like the age differences between people, like teenagers and adults. I don't know, but I'm loving the way it's going so far. We do have more time travel in the 2nd volume as well, and I'm just really enjoying it. Now, I do want to say, even though I did give these 5 stars, in the 1st volume, they are set in 1988, and one of our main girls, Mac, is very non-PC, and it is such a thing that I know nowadays in like 2020 and even back, a few years ago, that is something that is obviously not good, and it became more prevalent in our society to make sure we're not saying things and doing things that are going to be hurtful to other people. And so when I saw the way it was delivered, like the very first line she says to introduce herself is something horrible that basically introduces 2 sort of like, one is a slur and one is like almost like homophobic sort of stuff, but other girls have told her that's not okay, and it does sort of come up again in a way later on where I do believe she has room for growth, and I'm very curious about that. But it was very shocking and off-putting when it first happened, but I do think back in 1988 that was stuff people were saying a lot, because I do remember, not necessarily to the extent that she said it, but I do remember people, like what people used to do, like, oh, that's gay in high school, like that kind of stuff. People would use that as a put down, even though obviously it's not, but I feel like it was similar to that. So just be aware that that is in the 1st book mostly. I don't think we had much of that at all in the 2nd one. So I'm hoping for a lot of character growth. But besides that, absolutely loved it. These covers, by the way, are gorgeous. I'm loving the way the color composition is. And these, all 6 volumes are out. So I mean, this has been on my radar for a while. I don't know why I never really picked them up, but I had been seeing Ashley from Bookish Realm talk about these on one of her videos that I think was like series she needs to finish, like graphic novel, comic bind up stuff. I will leave the video link down below as well as her channel because I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what that video was called, but she basically was saying how much she liked these, especially because Brian K. Vaughan does Saga as well, and I had to pick them up, and I was not disappointed. I'm already planning on going back to Barnes & Noble next month. I think I have a pre-order coming in and picking up the rest of the series because I need to read them, and there's only 4 more volumes left. So besides that, now I am going to be watching Presley. He's actually finishing up lunch right now. He had his nap slightly earlier today than I would have liked, but you know, it happens. So we're gonna go chill and hang out, and I don't know what. And because of that, I also don't quite know what I want to read. I feel this is very similar to yesterday. I had, you know, my TBR that had 5 books on it, and I've read 3. I'm not going to read one of the other ones, and that's why I picked up Paper Girls. And then I have a manga, which I'm still putting off probably until tomorrow. I fully did not expect to be able to read more than those like 5 books this week because of Presley. But now I find myself in a situation where I'm like, what do I read? I need to find another book. So as of right now, I'm gonna go chill and hang out with him. But once I figure out what to read, I will let you guys know. Okay, so I just listened to Randomize by Andy Weir while I was wrapping up some of Presley's presents for his birthday, which is gonna be in like, ooh, a week from today. Oh my gosh, he's gonna be 1 a week from today. But it's like a 28-page short story that I know Amazon put out for their Kindles, I believe, last year. And there was like 6 stories, I believe. I read a couple last year, and then I've done this one so far. And they're supposed to be like sci-fi-ish, or like looking forward into the future sort of thing. And I think I'm giving this one a 3-ish. It was very middle of the road. Nothing really happened that I was like impressed with, but I feel like it could be partly that it was only 28 pages. Basically, this one has to do with like a very, very near future where casinos are trying to make their games impenetrable to cheating, and it has something to do with quantum numbers and quantum computers, and it was okay. It like, I don't know how to even describe it because I'm very blasé about it. I don't know the word that I'm trying to say. It wasn't my thing necessarily. Like I said before, have read 2 other ones in this series. One was Arc by Veronica Roth, and it was another one of those that I just, it was okay, but nothing really happened. And then the other one that I read was by Blake Crouch. I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head, so I'll put the picture obviously. 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love this one. It was about like AI and that kind of stuff. It was great. This is the reason I need to read actual like novels by Blake Crouch, because that one was phenomenal. I know there's an NK Jemisin one that I started reading before, but the audio narration for it was confusing because of the way it was written, so I just need to not do the audio on that. And there's a couple other. But this one was okay. It was something to listen to and read, I guess, while I was wrapping presents. The wrapping of presents only took me like 23 minutes total, and then I had like another like 10 minutes left on the audiobook, so it wasn't very long at all. But so that's my update for now. I still don't know if I'm gonna pick up something else later or even what it is, but I will let you guys know. Because Presley's sleeping, but now we have a container that is going to go in the fridge and we're going to eat it with dinner tonight. I will leave the recipe for this link down below as well. I don't even think I mentioned what it was, but they are Korean fish cakes. It's sort of like the side dish you get when you go to a Korean barbecue restaurant, and I love it. So, trying to find a good spot in the fridge. It's not working too well for me. Okay, I'm gonna put this in here and then we're gonna have it for dinner. For me? Thank you. For me? Oh, we threw it. Just like that is about 9 p.m. Presley did not want to go to bed as much as usual tonight because he did end up having his afternoon nap before lunch and then had to have a slightly shorter nap in the afternoon, but it was also later than usual. So we just got him down. I'm going to be editing my vlog and everything. But I think I'm not actually going to be reading anything tonight. I have a slight headache and I'm just really tired. I did not get as much sleep as I was really hoping to yesterday. So I'm hoping to go to bed after doing my vlog stuff, getting some good sleep, hopefully, as long as Presley will let me, and then starting fresh in the morning for the last day of the reading rush.